Guys, I have some folks down up in here who have been patiently waiting to do a conversation with me. Let's see who we have. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. So can everybody else. How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking my call.
What what you got for me, mama? Actually, before we start chatting, I'm gonna bring you up on the screen here in a quick second. Also, before we start chatting, do you identify yourself as an MTR?
Well, I'm new, so I feel like you have a lot going on, so I'm not sure what classifies as an MTR, but I'm quite new. But I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I have to ask you a laundry list of questions in regards to that. So, what got you attracted to the platform?
The pop the balloon.
Okay, so you were
Pop
watching.
pop the balloon.
So now you come
Yeah.
over here for the entertainment and the jokes. Do you disagree with the things that I say in regards to the images that I see up on the screen?
No, I agree. And okay, so I wrote it down a little bit I so that I'm as clear as possible.
Sure, if you want to talk about that. Also, where are you from?
Curacao.
Okay,
I'm from an island next to Aruba.
I figured
Have you
you.
heard of it?
Yes, I figured you weren't in America. I can tell by the accent. Anyway, go ahead.
So that's so funny that you say that because that's definitely what my questions are related about.
Okay.
Because I'm quite new to your channel and I agree with your points. Um, I think the way you express your points of view are very accurate. The way that men think,
Hmm.
you know, they really are. However,
Go ahead, talk to me.
when I'm watching, I
Yeah.
find myself driving in the car and thinking about certain things that you say.
Yes.
And in order for me to fully understand your channel, I just have a few questions
All
that
right.
I want to know.
No, you can go ahead with the questions, Mama. I'm waiting. Ask me the first one, and let's see what we get to. Go ahead.
Okay, so why do you never show the IG of the guys? You
I'm just
always show the girls.
Yeah, I'm less interested in the guys' IG. I just don't find value in looking at other men's IGs. Here's the thing, though. During a one-on-one consultation with any of the Gs from the MT Army, I can go over their IGs as well as their digital presence. I'm just more interested in the ladies. That's it.
Okay, cool. Because it would be interesting to see sometimes, because even though you're defending the guy in a certain way,
It,
because the chick is from, as you say it, from the streets, sometimes it would be interesting to see that these IGs also match,
at
but
the same
for me,
time.
at the same time, but.
Fair enough.
So that was definitely a question for me to sort of understand your channel when you do that.
It's
So I
fine,
just
baby.
wanted to know
All right, let's
that.
get the bullet point number two,
And
and then I think I gotta move on. But let me hear bullet point number two. Question number two.
okay, the bullet point number two is quite difficult. So the way that you talk and express the pop the balloon, do you think it's only a USA point of view? Do you think that the way that you express the way that the guys think is just a USA point of view? Why? For example, you always talk about,
I
she
think
has a gut.
I think it's a Western point of view.
But
I,
I'm Western as well, but I'm Caribbean.
so it's a Western point of view, and yeah, we can say it's like a much more of a United States point of view. However, I will talk about those of African descent, those of Caribbean descent. But when I do talk about, I'll call it out specifically. But when I don't, I'm talking about modern men and modern women, generally from the West, but more specifically from the United States, since that's where the brunt of my experience is from.
Because sometimes you talk about she has a gut. I feel like sometimes when you
Gut?
analyze a gut, like a belly, a stomach,
Oh yeah.
sometimes
So
I
when I
feel
talk about that, it's worldwide, baby.
it's worldwide. But
Yes.
do you say then that any woman that has some sort of a belly cannot find a top tier man,
I think it's
or
less
not
likely.
even
I
less likely?
Yes. I think it's incredibly less likely. And the evidence that I have for that is if you take a look at the wives of athletes, actors, CEOs, generally, more often than not, the women that they have are fit.
But
Also,
then
too,
when you Sorry.
Well, the thing is that you also have to think about if I work my entire life as hard as what I can as a man, why would I want to excel to get a type or a body type of a woman that didn't work as hard at resisting or disciplining herself from mouth pleasure or not disciplining herself within the gym? It doesn't make sense. And I also think like from a biological perspective, we look at people's body types and we judge books by the cover, but by their cover. But when you think about lifespan, when you think about the ability to have children, when you think about the discipline that it would take to snap back after children, it is less likely than those that you will get pregnant if they're already heavyweight to obese. So it's just a mindset thing down up in there. And I think that most masculine modern men that are worth their weight in salt generally prefer healthy women, fit women, as well as some of the other things that I always talk about within that.
But
Make
I
sense?
totally agree with that. Yeah, of course, that's just how it is. But then when you talk about top tier, then that's you're talking about like athletes, like top tier.
No, no, no. I'm just talking about public figures because those are the people that we
No.
can look at. It's because they're public people. They're not private people. I can't talk about people within my life because they're not public figures. So when I talk about people that are in the CEOs of companies are public figures. When I say athlete, when I say all these different things, they're public figures. My thing is that if you know that the body type that most men that are worth their weight in salt that they appreciate is friendly, fit, and feminine, then if you want to have retainable action with these men, then you would form fit yourself within those behavior types to increase the chances of them not only selecting you but retaining you. It just is what it is. But I think it's interesting. So I guess, do you disagree with that position?
Well, my where I'm from, it's a very small island. Again, I'm Caribbean. I'm not USA.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm when I talk about top tier, I guess I wouldn't say athlete or celebrities, all these public figures, but I do think that there are decent men that go for all sorts of types of molds and types of women.
There,
So
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying that there's decent men that don't, but generally, bigger men will select bigger women. Bigger women will select bigger men. That's generally what it is. And I think that. Go ahead.
once I heard this article or something that skinny guys who are poor tend to like overweight
Bigger
women,
women. Yeah.
bigger women, and guys who are rich tend to like
You
the
said you
slim.
said you said this was an article.
I think it was an article or somewhere I heard it years ago,
Yeah.
and it always struck.
So here's the thing. What I don't know is, and I'd have to do research on this, is that if the guys who are less financially capable like big women because that's what they generally have access to, versus no, I mean, this is some real shit.
It's true.
Versus
It
a
could be, yes.
dude that has the pick of the litter is not going to pick heavyweight, overweight to obese. They're generally not going
Of
to do that.
course not.
Now,
Of
there's
course
going to
not.
be irregularities within that. You're going to get dudes that just like the big bodies. You
Yeah.
understand? But
Yeah.
as a general rule of thumb, that is not true. And what I always say, you do not want to base your result or your decision in life based off of your a minority of cases. You have to look at the type of man that you want and then backtrack to see, okay, well, for that guy, where would he rate me? And if that guy doesn't like that body type, then that's all the information that you need to know. All right, baby girl, we went through 2 bullet points. I appreciate you. Feel free to call back in. I liked your questions. We could talk about it a little bit more, all right? But make sure that you
Yep.
get.
So am I MTR or not?
No, no. I don't know if you're in training yet. We got to do some more diagnosing. But what I will say is that entrance to the MTRs is closed right now. But keep tuned to the channel. So when we do go live and are entering more down up in here, we can continue to get either MTRs or MTRs in training down up in here. All right. But I can't grant you access to that title as of yet. All right.
No, but again, I'm super new to your channel, so I don't even really know what it means. Like I said, I feel you have a lot going on. And the only
Are
reason
you
why I
married?
really want, no, I'm not, but I'm in a relationship 6 years already, and I'm happily in a relationship. I have a great dude.
Does he
He
have a
is top
normal
tier.
BMI, or is he heavy, overweight or obese?
Uh, no, he's kind of like me. We're kind of the
How
same.
how how tall is he?
180 centimeters. Oh, I'm from the Caribbean, so I don't know. I don't know what's the 6 feet, whatever, 12 inches, but you know,
Get your
yeah.
metric bullshit up out of here. Let me take a look. Let me see. 100 you see you have 2 feet.
If
Uh,
we're talking pop the balloon, I can look up at him. You know,
how tall are you?
I'm
He's five foot
one.
nine.
I'm 167.
Okay, so you're like 5'6" or something like that. Okay. How much does he weigh?
90 kilos.
What the this kilo shit? 90 kilos. He's 200 pounds. Yeah. At 5'9", 200 pounds, if he's not a bodybuilder, he's overweight. Yeah, that makes sense. So what I just said is actually what it materialized within your life. Makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, I mean for sure I'm overweight. I mean everyone is, it from
I'm
if we're
not.
looking at what oh, no, not you, but if you're where I'm from, everyone is overweight.
That's a
We
problem.
are 60-kilometer island, and I think we are on the top 3 per capita most
Of
obese
fat
island.
people?
Yes. There's US and then there's another one and then there's us. So
Mm-mm-mm.
that's what it is. Like the view on what is beautiful is different. So again, the only reason why I wanted to talk to you was so that I could understand your channel a little bit better when I'm analyzing it. You're looking at me, but
No,
it's
no,
it's
no. I'm not saying that you lying. I was just actually just thinking about it. I need to take a trip down up in there and just start telling people what I feel about them in order for them to live a lot more healthier life. That's all that I was thinking about right then. No, it's got nothing to do with you. I agree with you. Oftentimes when I go over the big backs, I see a lot of the Caribbean massive say, "No, MTR, brother, that's my type," and I'm like, okay, that's not my type, baby. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is that if you take the big backs of where you're from and then place them in America, from a women of the women, they won't be able to get as much attention as what they do in a place that more so normalizes length times width times height. Does that make sense?
yeah, of course, of
Okay.
course.
All right.
And I mean, again, the US is just different. The rest of the world is
Listen,
different
the
in the
U.S.
US
the U.S. is a bunch of fat bastards as well.
as well.
Yeah, and I would say my guess is that where you're from is not really that much lower. And I will say that there's probably fitness people down up in there that don't agree with what's happening with their people as well. But if you look at the top 5 leading causes of death, at least within the U.S., they're all linked to your weight. They're all linked to obesity.
For
All of them.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
So,
100%.
so a high earning man, now not necessarily just a high quality man, you can have a good dude, but generally, if women are looking for a lifestyle of that of like let's say a Zoe or something like that, generally that's going to come from men that want to settle down with fit, feminine, and friendly. That's just a rule of thumb. Cool.
Cool. But I just found myself sometimes driving going like, whoa, but she's really skinny. Like, how can he even say she has a gut? But for me, it was just for me to understand your point of view in
Yeah.
order for me to continue watching.
Hey,
when you
that.
read You Pop the Balloon.
Hey, listen. No, I appreciate the questions. All right, feel free to call back in. How do you pronounce your name? Giordana.
Giordana.
Giordana. All right,
Yeah.
we got you, Mama. Feel free to be able to call back in. All right.
And what's your name, by the way?
MTR. Shout
Oh,
out.